Well, hello there, and you're very welcome to Sunday Nights with me, Odi Fitzgerald. you know, we've got 9 days to go to the election, and hang on a sec. I just gotta pop this on here, and I gotta pop that there, and stick on this here. I've been listening to a lot of stuff that Kamala's been saying. You know, she's not trying to run for president. She's not. I'm convinced of it. Kamala is not trying to run for president. She is only out to get one person, to annoy one person, to make one person feel bad. Just have a listen to this.
We are focused on the future, and we are focused on the needs of the American people, as opposed to a Donald Trump who spends full time looking in the mirror, focused on himself.
So I think it's hilarious, right? Just bear with me for 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm giggling. I'm in a giggly mood, right? Just listening to what she's saying. She says that we need to focus on everything. We need to focus on this, and we need to focus on that, and we need to focus on absolutely everything that's going to happen in this great country. Except she's only focusing on one person. She is not making this about the American public. She is making this about Donald Trump, and then she goes and says that he is focusing on himself. Just does she not? Can she not hear herself? Can she not listen to herself? Can she not understand what she is saying? Like how hypocritical she is sounding. It's ridiculous. I want to hear your thoughts on the show tonight. Anything I talk about tonight, I want to hear what you have to say. You can get in contact with me on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, which is 71307, or you can call me on the WORD talk line, 800 905 0989. And don't forget, I am streaming live on the Facebooks and YouTube. You can get it on the WORD 989 Facebook or my own Facebook page, which is Odi_Fitzgerald, and I am on YouTube as well. I have a lot to talk about tonight. The rally in Texas yesterday, Kamala made it was almost a rally full of false promises. The election is only 9 days away, and I'm going to be telling you how you can get out and vote. But allow me, if you will. I want to dedicate the first segment of my show to my Aunt Carol. I know it's a little bit off topic, but something very personal to me. Unfortunately, my aunt passed away a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, she had cancer, and she died of the implications of cancer, of what cancer brings. And I've had a lot of people, and thank you so much for everybody that has been passing on their hopes and prayer, or their prayers and thoughts to my the family of my aunt, her son and daughter. I'm not going to name them, but her son and daughter, and she's got grandkids, and she's got grandkids on the way as well. So she will be looking down on them and making sure that everything is looked after with them. But a lot of people have been passing on their condolences to me, and I want to thank you all very, very much. A lot of people have been getting in contact with me on Facebook, and as I say, really, really thank you so much for all the condolences that have been going out. It is the only thing I do not like about living so far away from Ireland is the fact that over the last 2 or 3 years, I've had a few deaths in the family. My grandmother has passed. Two of my uncles have passed. My aunt has passed. I've had cousins pass. I've had a couple of very young cousins, very, very, very young cousins. I had a 21-year-old cousin, and he died from cancer as well. And it is the hardest thing. It definitely is the hardest thing about living so far away. When my grandmother passed away, it was during COVID, and I couldn't go home. I wasn't able to leave the country because I was told I may not get back into the country because of the COVID restrictions that were in place. And I couldn't do that to my family. I couldn't do that to my wife and son. I may not get back to Ireland. And my entire family were very understanding of it. And I was able. The one thing about the way technology has gone is that you're able to view things you're able to view. I'm able to view funerals online, and I will be doing that tomorrow morning. As I said, my I'll be watching the funeral of my aunt, and it is something that I've had to deal with, and it's something that I've had to push through. Is that I've lost a few people, and I mean, I'm 43. I'm getting to the age now where a lot of people in my family are a bit older, and they could, it's a fact of life. A fact of life is that death. So yeah, it's been one of those things where it's been tough. It has been tough, and as I say, thank you so much to everybody that has been in contact with me. It really means a lot, and it makes me feel. I won't say good about the situation, but it makes me feel that there's a little bit of hope. So again, thank you very much. And as I say, yeah, I'd like to dedicate this entire show to the memory of my aunt Carol, who was an absolutely fantastic person. Don't forget, guys, on the stream, you can get in touch with me. Just leave comments in the box. I don't stop during the entire show. I stay live on the stream as well. So any comments that you want to say, you know, talk about it. Sometimes I will turn off the microphone because my voice will break at some stage. These microphones pick up a lot of stuff, and I'm not a fit person. I'm not. So sometimes I breathe a little bit heavy, and microphones pick it up, and I think it sounds weird. I really do. I think it sounds weird. I think I said that last week as well. Sorry, I just got a funny text in there. I'll read it out now in a couple of seconds. It is true though. Um, I'll be back. I'll be back in a couple of seconds. We're at the Comic Con today. Meant to say that as well. That was really cool. Um, SC Comic Con Junior. Thanks to the guys over in Borderlands, absolutely fantastic. A lot of people are commenting on my tattoos. I have lots of tattoos, loads and loads of them, and people seem the need to comment about tattoos. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about that in a second. We will talk about that on the air. I may throw it in later on. I don't know yet.
call? Talk to Odi at 800-905-0989. Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald continues on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
On the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, a couple of messages of condolence. Thank you very much. Hey, Odi, shout out to Kid Placid. Are you following President Trump in the Michigan rally? You know, I've been watching a little. It's here. Let me see if I can just. I know I can do this here.
Has she ever called you? No. They didn't like that answer, by the way. Then they asked her, have you ever called? No, she never called. Almost 4 years, she never called, not once, the Border Patrol. And she was the border czar. She was in charge of the border.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, think of it. 4 years, she never called. Now she's trying to say, well, I was really not the border. Whether she was the border czar or not, she was put in charge of the border by Sleepy Joe, and then he went to bed. He put her in charge, went to bed.
Oh, yeah. She wasn't. She didn't go near the border. He's talking about Kamala there. That is live. That's live coming from Madison Square Gardens in New York City, where Donald Trump is from. That's his home constituency. And some people are saying, oh, he might not get the vote there. Oh, yeah, he's going to. He's going to. But yeah, I'm looking at the crowds now, and there is actually a lot of crowd. There's a couple of free seats. Not, a couple of people missing, not too many. Maybe they gone to the restroom. But were you watching Kamala yesterday? She was in Texas. She had a rally in Texas. And I don't know if you were paying attention to it. Now, look, it's all over TikTok. It's all over lots of different social media places. It's everywhere. The fact that people are leaving, they're just getting up and they're leaving. They're not sticking around. What happened at the Texas rally yesterday is that it was leaked out that Beyonce and Kelly Rowland were going to be coming to the center to the rally, and that they were going to perform. Now, as you know, these rallies are free. You do have to apply for tickets, but you can go to them for free. Because, well, first of all, why would you pay for that? But however. So Beyonce and Kelly Rowland were going to perform at Kamala's rally. And everybody got excited that they were going to be there. And everybody, it was big news, and all of the local news stations were carrying it, and all of the local social media were carrying it. And it was going to be the greatest event ever. A free concert. I'm not a big fan of Beyonce myself. Not really into the whole Beyonce thing. And I don't think she's a very good songwriter. Maybe she doesn't write her songs. She probably doesn't. It's just repetitive. I just, not a big look at. You can lash back at me if you want. That's what I'm here for. Common Sense Retirement Planning, texting 71307. If you were the biggest Beyonce fan in the world, feel free to tell me, Odi, you're wrong. Beyonce is amazing. Don't think she is. But Kelly Rowland was there as well. Now, okay, the two ladies walked out on stage. They had a little bit of a chat, about 3 minutes. They both talked for about 3 minutes each. So it was about 6 minutes. Okay. I just remember tonight, Elon Musk was on for about 10 minutes, on his own, talking, making sense. He had a really good hat. He had a black Make America Great Again hat. I kind of want one of those. I actually want a red one as well. I do want one of the proper the red MAGA hats. But I'd settle for the black one that Elon Musk had. But so remember, we go back to Texas. Kelly and Beyonce. They used to be in Destiny's Child together, I think. I'm right. After they got off the stage, and our bumbling Kamala came on. I'm calling her bumbling. I know we had bumbling Joe who wasn't able to make sense. Or Giggles. Shall I call her Giggles? Let me know on the text line. Should I refer to Kamala from now on as Giggles? Because that's all she does is giggle. She laughs at nothing. I tell you one thing. I used to do a lot of stand-up comedy. And if I had an audience full of Kamala Harris's, I would have felt fantastic. They would have been laughing at absolutely nothing and everything all at the one time. It would have been hilarious. I would have thought it was amazing. But anyway, once Kelly and Beyonce left the stage, so did everybody else. Everybody left. People decided that because they're not getting a free concert from Beyonce Knowles and Kelly Rowland or Beyonce Z or whoever she is now. I don't know what she's been calling herself now these days, but everybody left the concert or the rally, because it wasn't a concert. It was a rally. Everybody left, gone, out the door. They didn't want to stay and listen to the dribble that Giggles was spouting, because Giggles likes to spout dribble when she's not laughing. But I also heard something last night. There was a question thrown up from the crowd, okay? And I just let me just pop this on here and you just listen to it here.
We are fighting for America's future, and we understand the opportunity we have before us to turn the page on the fear.
That's booing, by the way. So here's the thing, and this is just something that I was talking about. I was talking about this last week, okay? The fact that if anything goes off script, that Giggles can't find her way back onto script. So you had at her rally last night, what the person was shouting, what the person was chanting was no more Palestine war. Now, yes, 100%, I'm behind that. I do not want to see any countries at war because I don't want to see people being killed. Remember, I come from Ireland. We had a lot of troubles in Ireland for a long time where north of Ireland and the south of Ireland were beating the living daylights out of each other. They were killing each other, like actually killing each other. And I lived in that for quite a few years when I was a kid. I don't want to see that anywhere. So at Kamala's rally, at Giggles' rally, somebody said, stop the Palestine war. Brilliant. I'm in favor. She talked louder. She talked over the person who was making... That was an American person with a value, with values, with a comment that he wanted to say. And she decided that the best thing to do was to talk over him because, you know, she couldn't say anything about it. She couldn't. And then the fact that she didn't mention it or she didn't comment. If it was Donald, he would have said, okay, calm down. Everybody calm down. Let's have a little conversation about this. Donald would have acknowledged it. And he said, I can guarantee it. I can guarantee if someone at one of Donald's rallies spoke up and said, stop Palestine war, he would have said, and this is verbatim, you know, this is the mind of Odi. He would have said, okay. When I become president, that's one of the first things I'm going to do. He's going to stop the wars. And he is. Remember, when Donald was president, we had 4 years of not blowing the crap out of each other because everybody was terrified of what Donald could do, because Donald doesn't take that kind of messing. He doesn't. And Kamala is scared because everything she says reverts back to Donald being Donald. He's loud. He's a loud person. He's a big guy. Is he 6'1", 6 foot? He commands his audience. People don't leave his shows or rally. I'm going to call it a show because he puts on a show. He does. He entertains me. You may not know it, but sometimes, you know, people that work in this industry, we're not easy to entertain. You know, sometimes, you know, people, but he entertains me. He does. Kamala doesn't. Kamala infuriates me. When she's talking and she's giggling, she's saying nothing. She says nothing. On the Common Sense Retirement text line, remember it is 71307. I want to hear your thoughts. Trump lives in Kamala's head rent-free. Yes, he does. 100%. Cackling Kamala. a lot of people are saying to me that I need to call her Cackles. You know, I think you're right. I think Giggles is not the way. I think it is Cackles. She is cackling. Another texter says, Odi, I like to call her Countess Cackala. I'm with you on that. On the stream, don't forget you can get me streaming live on the WORD Facebook page. I'm also on Facebook or on YouTube if you want to get me on there. Trudy says on the stream that Kamala has the IQ. Kamala has the IQ of a fence post. Mel Gibson said that, and I agree. I agree with that 100%. I like Mel Gibson. He's a bit out there. He's a bit out there. Harold on the stream says that she is like a hyena and she laughs so much. She is. Actually, there's something now. You know what really peed me off a couple of days ago is the fact that Leonardo DiCaprio, I like Leo. He's not a bad guy. I like some of his movies, and Wolf of Wall Street I thought was funny, and Titanic, I think Rose done him wrong on that when she didn't let him on the door. But I like Leonardo. And he came out and he started, supporting Cackles. Leo, what are you doing? But then again, I don't believe that I think actors need to act. And yes, this is coming from someone who has acted. Yes, I've been on a few different types of screens. I have had a bit of fun. Been a Viking. If you're looking on the stream, you'll see why I've been a Viking. That beard is getting quite big. Actors need to keep their comments to themselves. The big actors, not me. I'm only a small actor. And I think you like my comments. I think you like what I say about different people. That's why you're listening. That's why you tune in. So you tune into all the shows here on News Talk 98.9 WRD. Everybody loves Charlie's point of view. I love Charlie's point of view. We've got Tara's point of view, Joey, Mike, Bill Frady, and Odi, of course. On the stream, Lisa says that Donald John Trump is 6'4", and Barron, his son, is 6'8". Is he actually 6'8"? I think he is. Maybe he is. They say that about people, though, that people that have a grand stature, they come across, stronger. They come across more powerful. I think that's something as well. I think people want a president that they can look up to, not just physically, but mentally. And in leadership wise, you want someone you can look up to. We'll go back to Madison Square Gardens, and let's see what the Donald is talking about. Oh, that's not good.
And things you could see they weren't being properly done, but still it was a place that people wanted to be and all. But since then, our federal government, what they've done to this place, what they've done to the state, and to force hundreds of thousands of really rough people into this beautiful.
So I'm not too sure what the content was, but just listen to him for 1 second. Okay? There was no ahs, there was no stopping, there was no starting, there was no cackles, there was no giggles, there was nothing. And here's something else, and I think this is a low blow. I think this is getting nasty, is the fact that Kamala is starting to compare Donald to Adolf Hitler. That's not really, that's grasping at straws. That's, the Democrats are, it's the Democrats. They're comparing him to a Nazi. That's a little bit, that's kind of, how far is too far when it comes to that? When I come back, I'm going to be telling you all about how Photoshop can win elections, apparently. Yeah, News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas.
From the Ingalls Market Studio, crystal clear from Rock Hill to Howard's Rock and Morganton to Alberton.
This is News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Fox News, I'm Ann Carrick. Former President Trump speaking at New York City's Madison Square Garden. Fox's Aisha Hasni is there.
This event here in Madison Square Garden will be basically the former president kicking off his final pitch to the American people as he chips away at the Democrats' hold on this city.
Also on stage in New York, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, and J.D. Vance. Vice President Kamala Harris in Philadelphia commenting on the Israel-Hamas war.
We can and we must seize this opportunity to end this war and bring the hostages home.
The latest Fox News poll showing former President Trump with a 2-point lead over Vice President Harris nationally. Election day now less than 10 days away. America is listening to Fox News.
Sorry, that shouldn't have been going. Sorry, you were listening to the news there. If I ever do that, if I ever have the news playing or anything like that, and you don't want to hear it, just say, "Odi, the news is on." You can leave a comment in there, and I can get rid of it. I have the power to do that. But yeah, feel free to drop any messages you want here. I still love Harold's one of. Yeah, about her being a hyena. And the fact, actually, Harold, there you go. Thought I was back there for a second. See, I can do funny stuff like that. Gatorade. Christopher, how are you, sir? How are you feeling, buddy? Chris was in the wars. I'm not going to explain what happened to Chris, but he was in the wars. He's recovering at the minute. He's okay. Well, I hope. Are you okay, Chris? Are you feeling good about yourself? Still hurting a bit. Okay. Well, I mean, not that kind of doctor. Not walking yet. Okay. You still cast it up, or are you in traction? Chris got badly hurt. We'll just say that. Yeah. All right. Ooh, everybody popped up. Ooh, you got metal. I got metal in me. There's metal in there. There, that one there. Metal in there. I'm like Cousin Eddie out of Christmas Vacation. You know, this side, that's normal. Nothing there. But this side, nothing but a bit of government titanium between my head and. I have a lot of plates. I have a plate here. See there? That's a scar. That's why it doesn't grow. The hair doesn't grow properly there because I've got a scar there because I came off a motorcycle when I was younger. And I've got a plate in there. I have lots of them. That wasn't a joke, Bev. That was real. What you have to do is you have to grab the leprechaun. You just look him in the eye. You grab him, you look him in the eye, and you just kill him. Stone dead. Excuse me. Harold, I'm going to take that off. In 30 seconds, I have to do that radio thing. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'd ore him to death? Oh, bore him to death. Yeah, that's how you kill a leprechaun. You bore him to death. The stream is absolutely hopping tonight. We've got Lisa, who is... Oh, yeah, okay. Now, Lisa. So before the news there, I was talking a little bit about how the Democrats are... Well, I'm just going to come out and say it. They're saying that Donald Trump is... They're liking him to Adolf Hitler. That they're saying that he's a Nazi. He's not. He's got the backing from the entire Jewish community. Well, most of the Jewish community. Do you honestly think that the Jewish community are going to back someone that they feel is a Nazi? Come on. Seriously? But yeah, Lisa on the stream said that they're trying to get him killed by calling him Hitler. It's ridiculous what they won't try. Need to pray nonstop to see him safe. Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of procedures have been put in place now to keep Donald as safe as possible. When he becomes president again, which hopefully he will. When he gets back in, there's going to be a lot more procedures put in place to make sure that he's a lot safer. Because, well, if you go telling lies about people, if you go telling stories out of school, then bad stuff is going to happen. On the text line, Common Sense Retirement Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Sorry about that. 71307. Yes, you have to call Harris Cackles because Hillary's nickname was Cankles. That's terrible. It's funny. It's terrible. I'll be talking a little bit about ex-presidents in a couple of minutes. I will. But do you remember last week that Donald worked a shift in McDonald's? You remember that? Well, I just have a little bit of audio here. Just go in here and click that one there. Go back to here. And yeah, I talk about the buttons I press. Here's a little report from Ashley Stromer. This is what you have to say.
Former President Donald Trump got a little taste of what it's like to work in the fast food industry over the weekend, and it looked like he was loving it. And now he is boasting more McDonald's work experience than Kamala Harris, who continues to make this unproven claim. Harris's claim could be true, but her campaign is yet to back it up, and McDonald's can't provide the proof either, telling U.S. employees in an internal message confirmed by the Wall Street Journal that they are missing some employment records from the early 1980s.
Isn't that very, very convenient that they lost some records from the 1980s? I'm not saying nothing bad about McDonald's, because there has been some times where I've been going hither and thither and yond, as my good friend Lonzo will say. I've been going from place to place, and as you know, I work a full-time job, and then I work here on the weekends. I work on the radio, bringing you all the news and mayhem in the pulse, and all the news, and, well, it is sometimes mayhem, here on Sunday nights with Odi Fitzgerald. And sometimes I get a little bit peckish. And, well, I mean, I kind of owe my little bit big physique from sometimes overindulging in McDonald's. I sometimes will. But they say that they lost. They say that they lost the records. Okay. Now, when Donald was working there, he said that he was working there for 15 minutes, and that 15 minutes is longer than the 15 minutes that Kamala ever worked in McDonald's. So Kamala and her team came out and they gave a photograph of Kamala Harris in her 1980s McDonald's uniform. And you know what? She looked well. She did. She looked absolutely fantastic. She was back in the 80s and she had that youthful look about her. She was just fresh-faced and ready to take on the world. Except they didn't use enough AI when they were making the photograph of Kamala Harris, because it was an AI photograph of sorts. They're probably going to get fired. They are probably going to get fired for what they did. But whoever made the photograph of Kamala in her 1980s McDonald's uniform stole the photograph off the internet. And they sent it out to the world. They sent it out to everybody. Oh, look, this is our vice president, soon to be our president, Kamala Harris. And she was working in McDonald's back in the 1980s. Here is a photograph proving exactly that. Doesn't she look absolutely fantastic? Except for one little thing. The person who was really in the photograph came forward and said, I think you'll find that is my photograph, that somebody photoshopped their head of Kamala onto the photograph. They removed the original person's head and they put a Photoshop into the photograph to make it look like Cackles was working. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. Would you like a cackle? Yeah. Does she not realize? Does she not realize, care? Does she not understand that absolutely everything that you put online, everything that is out there, people can track it down. I sometimes look at my own information on Google to make sure that nobody is trying to be me. It happens. And I've seen some people who try to look like me. You know, thank you very much. It's a compliment. But it's just everything you put out there, every piece of information that you put up on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok. I am on TikTok, by the way, Odrin Mac G. I think it's I'll find it for you in a minute. Everything that you put everywhere is there for everybody to take, review, do what they want to. You get a lot of messages on Facebook saying, oh, you know, I do not consent to my photographs being used by Facebook. You've signed up to Facebook. Anybody's photographs that are on Facebook are there for people to take. I'm sorry, but they are. Unless you make it private and you make it so that nobody else can use your photographs are up for grabs. When her team was as I said, somebody is getting fired for that. When her team were making the photograph of Kamala working in McDonald's back in the 1980s, they stole the photograph from somebody else. The text in, slow down, Odi. Sorry about that. I'm getting a little bit hyper and a little bit kind of exaggerated. And when I do that, my true Irish accent really comes out and I get a little bit hyper. On the text line, somebody else said to me, it was a cheap fake at that. Yeah, see, that's the thing. How much money is Kamala putting in? She just, I think she just doesn't care anymore. She just realizes that she's gone this far and I think she's just a little bit kind of like, oh, well, maybe it's not going to work for me anymore. Maybe it's not going to happen. I will be talking a little bit more about that later, about what I think is about to happen. Yeah, something different is happening. It's a little bit crazy what's happening. The world has gone a little bit crazy. Over here in America, I'm loving it. I am loving it. It's the first time that I've had to cover a full election. I was working in media. During the last one, but it was Irish media. I was doing a little bit of work, voiceover stuff, and I was sending it back to Ireland. I was working in Ireland, but located here in America at the time. And it was when Biden got in, Sleepy Joe got in, and I wasn't really covering, but now I'm covering it. I'm really getting into it. I'm really digging deep into everything that's happening here. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, Anyway, have you voted yet? Have you gotten out to vote? You're saying, Odi, I don't know how to. Well, stick with me. When I come back, I will be telling you the best ways to get out there and vote, to get your early voting, to bring friends, to do everything. You're listening to Newstalk 98.9 WRD. This is the voice of the leprechauns. I need to stretch. If anybody's wondering, this is a rugby shirt I'm wearing. It's a Munster Rugby. Look it up, Munster Rugby Ireland. Is everybody ready for Halloween? I'm going to be talking about that later on in the show. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about Halloween later on in the show. I will be bringing it up. Oh, yeah, somebody asked to see my desk. We got a new desk and it's all the lovely buttons. Isn't it cool? I like it. You can see all the important ones are turned up. That one there is me. Because some people were asking how do I like the new board? I like the new board a lot. I like it a lot. And I got new headphones. We got new headphones a couple of months back. They're fun. Yeah, unfortunately, the whole Michael Collins thing that was set up big time. If anybody doesn't know anything about Irish history, it was during the War of the Civil War back in 1922. Yeah, it was. I don't really have time to go into it. I could talk a lot about it, but I don't really have time to get into it at the minute. But yeah, it got interesting. It was the Civil War back in Ireland. There was a lot of Irish people killed, unfortunately. It wasn't the North and the South, it was the Loyalists and the Republicans. And it worked because we're now a republic, the Republic of Ireland, as you know. Yes, there is a lot of ads. People have asked me about that before. Why is there so many ads? So the clocks went back in Ireland this weekend. There's normally a 5-hour difference between Ireland and here in America on the East Coast, but up until, well, now, it's from last night on, there was a 4-hour difference in the time. And I'm after noticing it big time on the stream because we are streaming live. I don't know why I say we. I'm so used to saying we from the Saturday Night Show, but I am streaming live on the News Talk Facebook page. If you're listening to us on the FM and you want to see what Odi looks like, you may not. You can get us on there. On my own page, Odi_Fitzgerald, and on my YouTube as well as the WORD Facebook page. A lot of text coming in on the live stream. Christopher says, isn't it funny how even though her own family, talking about Kamala Harris working in McDonald's, none of her own family will confirm that she worked in McDonald's because, well, here's news for you. She didn't. Not even slightly. I'll read that one in a minute, Doug. Over on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, somebody says, Odi, is it true that Gaelic words written one way and pronounced an entirely different way? Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's not okay. So I'll tell you a little bit here. There's no such thing as the Gaelic language. Okay, there is Gaelic languages. So the term Gaelic it's an umbrella term. Okay, so within that you have Irish, you have Scots Gaelic or Scots Gaelic, and yes, there is a difference in the pronunciation. Scots Gaelic. You have Welsh, because Welsh is a Gaelic language, it's a Gaelic language. And then you have Manx, which is from the Isle of Man. Now, the Welsh and the Manx sound very different. Somebody from Scotland and somebody from Ireland could understand each other roughly. The closest thing that I've seen to it is people from Mexico. The Spanish that they speak in Mexico is a little bit different from the Spanish that they speak in Spain. Just a little bit, not huge differences, but you can tell if a Spanish person is talking to a Mexican person, they can tell the difference. They can tell the difference. But yes, so Gaelic words, they look completely different. They're pronounced completely different. But yeah, Irish word. Now, if you're looking for the real Irish word for Irish, it's Gaelga. So you've got Gaelga, Scots Gaelic, Welsh, and Manx, which is the languages all covered under the Gaelic umbrella of words. Now, as you know, it is time to get out there and vote. It is 100% time to get out and vote. I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. There is some people living here in America like yours truly who cannot vote because we are not yet American citizens. We have all the rights of American citizens apart from the fact we cannot vote because we are, what are we called? What are we called? Well, I've been called a few names. We are called permanent residents. Okay? Permanent residents cannot vote. You may not know that, but now you do. So you need to get out there and vote. I would like to see the Republican Party back in power. That's just what I'm saying to you. I'm not trying to sway you in any way, shape, or form. Vote Republican. But that's what I would like to do. I cannot vote unless I go to Texas, because apparently you don't need any identification to vote down there. If you're listening to us on the Odyssey app down in Texas or anywhere else around the country, actually, there was a guy talking to me last week on TikTok. He was saying he's out in Las Vegas. If you're listening, buddy, you can text in the show 71307 on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. But as I said, get out there and vote. You've got 9 days. In 9 days' time, that'll be the 5th of November, the world is going to change. I hear music playing and I don't know where it's coming from. It's kind of strange. The world is going to change for the better. It's going to change for the better because the Donald will hopefully get back in power. If you're wondering how to vote, well, you can go on to scvotes.gov, scvotes.gov. There is sample ballots. You can look for sample ballots. I think Charlie has been talking about sample ballots. You can get all of that sorted out. Everything is there ready for you. Oh, that music went down. Yeah, because there was music playing. Sorry about that. There is sample ballots out there. You can look at them. If you're going to go and vote, don't think of it as a chore. Don't think of it as, I have to go and vote. Think of it as your duty, your duty, whatever you want to call it. It is. There was a lot of people back in the 1700s, 1777, 6, 5, in and around there, who decided that they were like, you know what? We don't want somebody else running our country from across the pond over in England. Let's run the country ourselves. When they did that, of course, when you have people who start to run the country themselves, you are going to get different people with different opinions. You have a Republican Party because, well, United States is a republic. Because we're no longer under British rule, neither Ireland. And you have the Democrats who like to choose the democratic way of life. Except lately, they're showing their true cards. Yeah. So you have the Democrats and you've got the Republicans. And there's a lot of different people. But if you do not know who you want to vote for yet, well, listen to the show carefully and closely. Go on to scvotes.gov. Get out there and vote. But bring your friends. Talk to your friends. Just early voting has started. You can get out and vote. Talk to your friends. Call up your buddy and say, hey, Jimmy, are you going to vote? I wasn't thinking about it. Well, you know what? I'm going to come over to your house and I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to bring you voting. And we're going to vote for Donald Trump and we're going to wear our MAGA hats and the world is going to be a better place to live and America is going to be a nice, friendly, cheaper, happier place to live. Bring your friends, dress up, put on American shirts. Look the part. If you're going to vote for America, you need to look American. Get out there. Tailgate. Can you tailgate? Listen, One of the things I've noticed since I got here to America, since I landed in America, is that Americans like to party. Americans like to let people know who they are, what they're doing, where they're doing it, and that's if they're doing anything at all. So you may as well make your vote count. Not only make it count, but make it an event. We need to show other people how fun Republicans are. Text me in on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Have you voted already? Actually, yeah. Before we go into the news, on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, I want you to tell me. And remember, everything that you text in is strictly confidential. It doesn't go anywhere. This is just for Odie to see it. Have you voted? I want you to text. No, I want you to be honest. Okay? I want you to text vote if you have voted. Going to vote if you're going to vote. And I also want you to text not voting if you're not voting. And if you're so inclined, if you're feeling a little bit brave, if you want to tell me why you're not voting. Seriously, I would love to know. I want to get out there and vote. Get out there and vote. Just remember, if you don't go and vote, if you don't get out there and you make your mark, there's a lot of different things that you need to vote for on the ballot. Here in Greenville, in my home county of Anderson, there's lots of different stuff. There's lots of different things. The big one, of course, which is kind of going to control everything else, is the presidential election. Okay? That's the big one. The other ones are very important as well, but that's the big one. You need to get out there and you need to vote. So as I said, on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307, are you going to vote? If you have voted already, when you're going to do it. Texts are coming in, voted last Thursday, voting in the morning, voted on Friday. I'm going to be voting this week. 100%. Got to get out there and vote. You really have to. And we've got special shows lined up next Sunday night. Bill, Charlie, and Tara are going to be coming in, so you can definitely listen out for those special shows during the day. We'll have the times for you later. I think Tara's on at 6. I think Bill could be on at 3. Charlie could be on at 4 o'clock. Not 100% sure, but I will find out for you. But yeah, I do. I need to know. Texter says, Odie, I'm going to vote for Trump tomorrow morning. Most of my family has voted already. See that? Look. And that's what we need to do. We need to make this the biggest vote that has happened so far. The biggest turnout. The biggest. Just let's show everybody that the Republicans stick to their guns. As we do, because we love the Second Amendment. And we stick to our guns and we vote. And we get out there and we have fun while we're doing it. We don't just stand in line and we don't just, I'm going to have to vote now. No, I'm going to leave it. When I come back, I'm going to be talking about very silly people. People doing stuff to put themselves in the line of danger and trouble. And of course, I stay live on the stream during the news. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD, the voice of the Carolinas. Mama Bev, what we got? True. But Douglas, if you're in you're in different states, you probably could. Oh yeah, if you're on the stream, don't worry about telling me if you voted or not, because it's not. It's don't don't put information like that out. Only on the text. You can text in 71307 anywhere. Chris, Mama Bev, anywhere, anybody that's watching on the stream, you can text in to 71307, and that's all confidential. I don't want you putting any of your personal information on the stream. I mean, you can if you really want to, but I don't advise it. I can remove it. I have the power. Oh no. Oh, just after listening there on the news that a British member of Parliament apparently attacked somebody and kept beating them. I don't know what happened there. I'll try and find out some information about that if I can. Some British politician. Hang on. If only I had a way of finding out information. Where that music was coming from. Except all. Okay, so this is just live exclusive because we're in the news and the weather over here. The Labour Party suspends MP Mike Amsbury after a video shows him punching a man in the street. Mike Amsbury has been suspended from the Labour Party after CCTV footage shows him punching a man on the street. Labour Party spokesman says Mike's eyes. The Cheshire police are inquiring following the incident on Friday night. As these inquiries are ongoing, the Labour Party has administratively suspended Mr. Amsbury membership of the Labour Party pending investigation. A new video obtained by the Mail Online on Sunday afternoon showed MP for Runcorn and Hillsbury punching a man who fell to the floor before hitting him repeatedly. What? He hit a guy and he fell to the floor and he kept hitting him. Spokesperson said for the Cheshire Police that a 55-year-old man has been voluntarily interviewed under caution by police in relation to the incident. He said that since being... So yeah, that's a British MP has beaten the living daylights out of somebody and kept hitting him. What? Again, this is something... Now this is... Remember, folks, this is your stream exclusive. This is not going on air because we're not on air at the minute. A British member of Parliament has beaten somebody. Do people not realize that when you're in the public eye, you're recorded. Everything is recorded of what you do. Have I got music in? I do have music in. Everything is recorded for what you do. Everything I do is recorded. I record everything. I have two screens here, screens everywhere. But I have two screens up here, and one of them is recording absolutely everything I say. Not this bit, but everything else I'm saying. I am going to be talking about silly people when I come back, which will be very soon because we've got the weather forecast. Oh, isn't it got nice and cold? It's absolutely lovely. It's 57 degrees outside at the minute. I tell you what, I'm going to talk about that when I come back because I want to talk about that. Whoever's listening in, you can let me know who's listening by just giving me a little thumbs up. Or not a thumbs up, give me a hello or something. Because I can see who you are then. Lots of people. Yeah. You can feel free to leave a comment. That's what it's there for. Okay, let's do radio. Hello, Mama Bev.
Odi Fitzgerald on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Now here's Odi.
So before the news, I was asking people if they're going to be voting, if they have voted, if they're not going to vote. Nobody has said to me yet whether they're not going to vote or not. Just go through them. Voted in the morning, voting next week, voted last Thursday, voted last Wednesday, voted in Georgia. If you're listening to us from Georgia, we cover a lot of different places. You can hear us live on your radio box throughout. What have you got? We've got South Carolina, obviously, North Carolina, in Georgia. I think on a clear night they can get us a little bit further up the coast and a little bit further down the coast. I've been told that ever so slightly on a clear night, nighttime is the best time to listen to radio. It is. I've been told that on a very clear night you can pick us up in the very tippity top of Florida. Look, it's only what I've been said. It's only what people have said to me. Lots of people are voting. So if you're in any of the states I've mentioned, if you are listening to the sound of my voice, let me know on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307. If you are voting, have you voted? Did you vote? Will you vote? All that voting stuff. Now, today was a big day for me. I was over at the Comic-Con, SC Comic-Con. Borderlands brought it out. It was good. There was lots of people there, and I got there early. Had a lot of fun. Got there very early. Got there so early, in fact, that when I got there, I realized that there was a gun show happening in the venue right beside it. So I said, well, you know me, anybody that knows me out there knows that I do like the Second Amendment 100%. So much to the fact that next Saturday, a good friend of mine, Danny, has managed to coax me out of retirement, and I'm going to be taking part in the IDPA shooting championship club thing, pew pew. Yeah, that's what it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's IDPA. It's the shooting. It's shooting targets and having a lot of fun doing it safely. Texter to the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line said to me, Odi, did you make it to the gun show today? Yes, I did. They say I picked up a few of those laser marksmanship trainers because the VA made me glasses wrong. I'm sorry. Now I'm cross-eyed. But here's the thing. Do you look with one eye when you're shooting or two eyes? Yeah. But anyway, that Dexter is definitely making the best of a bad situation. I got another one. Hi, Odi. I voted for Trump in South Carolina. I am listening to you as I drive home from North Carolina after work. Thank you so much. I'm going to talk to text, so forgive me if your name is spelled. Look at you, put an extra E in it. It's just ODI. It's fine. I'm not. Thank you so much for listening. You're one of my loyal listeners. I'm not going to give out to you for putting an E into my name. But I am going to give out about this. Okay. Sit right back and I tell you a tale. Little tale. Why are people, I'm just going to say it. Why are people being stupid? I was watching the TikToks. Yes, I know. I watch the TikToks. I go on TikTok. I'm going to tell you a little tale. I go into the smallest room in the house. You know which one it is. And I contemplate life and I look at TikTok. It's probably the only time I do it. Spend about 10 or 15 minutes, maybe 20, maybe till my legs go numb. And I look at TikTok, go through Facebook, a little bit of social media presence. And I see some stuff and I just can't help but wonder what is wrong with people. Why do people feel the need to put themselves in danger? In zoos and safari parks, people are trying, right? They're trying to pet lions and tigers. And then you go to state parks and they're trying to get their photographs with buffalo and they're trying to get their bison, whatever you want to call them, the big guys. And then in North Carolina, they tried to get their photograph with wild elk. Have you seen the size of an elk? They're huge. Up in Canada, people are trying to go and they are going to try and get photographs with moose. Do you know how big a moose is? Do you know that a Mazda Miata can drive under a moose? Yep. Now, I know a Miata is not a massive car, but it can drive under a moose. Are we protecting idiots? Should the signs that say do not pet the lion and the tiger because they'll eat your face? Are we protecting silly people? Are we protecting people that if we didn't protect them, the world would probably sort itself out a lot easier? No, Texter, it's not because they're all Democrats. Are we looking after silly people? Have you bought anything recently? Have you been at any store recently and you've picked up an item and you've looked at it? Well, as you recall, we had a hurricane pass through here not too long ago, and there was a lot of devastation. A lot of people got hurt. A lot of damage was done. Okay, there was a lot of trees came down. I had trees down in our yard, or well, near our yard, not too far from it. And there was a few trees across the road. And I was like, yeah, maybe I could buy a chainsaw and do a bit of work on it. Cut down a few trees. There was a warning sign on the chainsaw. If you're driving, stay on 2 hands on the wheel. Okay. If you're driving, a texter who's driving in North Carolina at the minute, 2 hands on the wheel, buddy. That's it. There you go. 2 hands on the wheel. There is a warning sign on chainsaws that says, do not stop chain by using your genitals. But here's the thing. I'm just going to let that one sink in for a second. There is a warning sign on a chainsaw. Okay, I'm not going to say the brand of the chainsaw, but there is a warning sign on the chainsaw that says, do not stop the chain by using your genitals. The only thing I can say is that normally signs come onto things like that because somebody has tried it. Seriously, is there any signs on anything that you have around that you've seen? Something, text me in 71307, Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. You can give me a call. I'm going to take an ad break in a second. I'll be able to answer the phones. 800-905-0989. That's the WRD talk line. Let me know. I want to know what stupid stuff you have seen to protect people. There's a thing called the Darwin Awards where people do silly things, and once they do silly things, well, they're awarded 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100. They are making, right, listen to this. The Darwin Awards are given posthumously, which means that somebody done something so stupid that they died from it. And they got an award on the text line. Odi, stop. You're making me cry laughing so hard. I'm not. No, look it. I'm half sorry, but I'm not at the same time. Seriously, I'm going to go back to it again. I'm going to say this once more. On a chainsaw. It says, on the chainsaw, it says, do not stop the blade by using your genitals. I mean, look, if you're trying to get a sex change, no. Tell you what, if you need a warning sign on anything, you probably shouldn't use it. It's like an airline. Whenever I fly to Ireland, I fly over to Ireland on a certain airline because I think they're better going one way than the other. And when I'm flying back, I fly on Aer Lingus. I'm not going to mention the first one that I make, the first airline that I make, but they give out peanuts. Give out peanuts to people so that they can chew peanuts and it stops the pressure building up in their ears. And, it's a nice little thing. Sometimes they give out pretzels. On one of the packets of peanuts that was given out to me, it said, excuse me, it said, may contain nuts. Packet of peanuts. It's going to say may contain nuts. When I come back, screaming at kids is now the way of the Democrats.
Keeping you informed and engaged. And live on the Odyssey app, this is Sunday Nights with Odi Fitzgerald.
On News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas.
Word on the street with the Carolinas' own Joey Hudson.
The Chief Operating Officer of Upstate Warrior Solution, Teresa Thompson.
Since our inception, we've served about 12,000 veterans.
Ariel Naktiman, leader in the Jewish community.
And I'm really thankful to live in South Carolina.
Greenville County Sheriff Hobart Lewis.
We have great men and women that serve.
The movers, shakers, and difference makers. Hear their stories on Word on the Street, Saturdays at noon with Joey Hudson on News Talk 98.9 WORD, the voice of the Carolinas. Powered by Ingalls Markets. Low prices, love the savings.
Now the Carolinas' most trusted forecast from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center.
Cloudy skies expected tonight with a low of 49. Winds out of the northeast 5 to 10 miles per hour. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. Highs level off around 67. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki from the News Talk 98.9 WORD Weather Center. Currently 56.
When your health insurance premium looks like a mortgage payment, it's time to talk to Christian Levis at Real Choice Healthcare. If you pay for your own health insurance, do not go online looking for quotes. You'll get endless calls from call centers, and they will not stop. Instead, call Christian. With years of experience, he'll provide sound advice for your health insurance needs. Their
Remember, the
plans
phone
let
lines
you
open
pick your
to one, give me a
doctors,
call,
and it's 30 to 60% lower cost than Obamacare. Your income has nothing to do with these plans, so there will be no surprise tax bills. If you pay for your own health insurance, own a
No, I
small
don't give
business,
it out.
you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call
I used to do
Christian
that, and there
at
was another radio station I worked in back in Ireland.
864-756-3770.
Worked in
That's
a lot of radio stations, worked in many radio stations across the
864-756-3770.
world.
Or
Actually
go to
worked in radio stations in Australia.
realchoicehealthcare.com. That's realchoicehealthcare.com.
left,
They'll custom design a
left.
plan managed by you, not the government. Your health, your choice. Real Choice Healthcare.
Do you know the 8 necessary
Yeah, worked in
steps
lots
to
of radio
take to
stations.
properly prepare your
Some
estate for the
stations
next
have the number,
generation?
like,
Well,
some
we did a
people-
podcast on that. The
Like
Provest
text-
Perspective
yeah.
podcast covers a new financial
Sorry,
topic
the
each
text
week
is funny.
and is a must for people who want to stay up with all the latest financial news and concepts. Download the Provest Perspective podcast from any of the most popular podcast platforms or go straight to our website at theprovestperspective.com to listen.
Tune into Living Large Radio with Mark Henry. Get out of the idea that you're a trader and become a long-term investor. Saturdays at 6 a.m., 2 p.m., 4 p.m., and Sundays at noon. Right here on 98.9 WORD.
Mad World Haunted Attraction is now open. Voted one of America's top haunts and #1 in South Carolina. Located in Piedmont off I-85 exit 35. Grab your friends and get ready to scream. Buy your tickets now at madworldattractions.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to.
Sorry, y'all need to tell me if I leave the ads on. Left the ads on. Sorry about that. I'm just going to leave that channel down so I don't leave the ads on. So, you know, it's fine. I have discovered in the last 6 months that I'm starting to go a lot grayer than I was. My beard is a lot grayer than it was. And, you know, I've the salt and pepper going on here. And when it first started happening, I was a little bit kind of like, oh, man. Where now I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm dashing. I'm aged. Ever so slightly. Receding as well. But, you know, look, it's nothing I can do about it. Not going to do anything about it. I'm not going to cover my grays. No. Let's do radio. Going to the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Hi, Odi. 71307. Hi, Odi. Voted for Trump in South Carolina, and I'm listening to you as I drive home from Florida. Oh, so I got that one already. Voted in Florida a couple of days ago, so that means that people are listening to me down in Florida. Hello, Florida. I am a Second Amendment supporter too. Thank you very much. We're talking about mooses. Mooses? Not 100% sure. But mooses are terrifying. Moose. What's the plural of moose? Anybody listening there, text in 71307. Let me know the plural of mooses. Is it mises or I'm not sure. Someone's saying, Odie, stop. You're making me laugh and I'm trying to drive. Sorry about that. We were talking about common sense and how people don't have it. And Texter texted in and said, Odie, yes, there is no common sense in the world anymore. They have just gone berserk with their thinking. By the way, I am a female listening to your show, driving from North Carolina to South Carolina. And also, by the way, I love your accent. Well, hold on. Just, if you're still driving, I don't do this very often. I'm going to do it now. Texter, if you're still driving, okay, just turn the volume up just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. I'm going to do this one for you now. You ready? Hello, Texter. You're very welcome to the show. Do you like that? I don't do that very often. You put the volume back down again. What have we got here? If I could get a text message with your phone number that could be reached for the show, that would be awesome. I only caught the 800. Oh, yeah. So I'll do it slowly. Okay. So we've got the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line, which is 71307. And we also have the WORD talk line, which is 800. So that's 800-905-0989. I will say it slowly again. 800-905-0989. Now, because I'm in the studio here on my own, if you call me during the ad breaks, I can answer the phone. Because if you don't, then, I have to let it ring for a minute. So if you want to have a chat with Odi, you want to come on the air, share your thoughts with me. I want to hear what you have to say. WRD talk line is 800-905-0989. It's funny that 0989 is the call sign of the radio. A lot of people telling me that the plural of moose is moose. It is plural. Well, you know what? I like my word better. Mooses. Mooses. I'm going to talk about the mooses. Democrats have decided that the best thing for them to do is to scream at kids. They're screaming at kids now. That's what happens. I have a clip. I'm not going to play it because if I play it, the FCC will absolutely rip me off the face of radio so fast I will never get back onto it again because it's bad words. Okay. But yesterday, just outside the building where Cackles Harris was doing her little rally, there was a lady who decided that a child, I'm not talking about a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. I'm talking about a kid, looks about maybe 3 years old. She's in her stroller or a buggy or the little mobile vehicle you put little kids into. I don't know what it's called over here. A stroller. I call it a stroller, a buggy, a cart, a pram, whatever you want to call it. She's in that. And this woman is screaming expletives into the child's face. The child looks absolutely terrified. Beyond scared. Terrified. Because the child's dad is using a megaphone to voice his opinion about the Republican Party and about the Democratic Party. Okay, so he is using a megaphone to talk to people that are around him, promoting the Republican Party. This Democrat has decided that because the man who is talking would probably not take any crap from her, that she is going to scream into the face of a child. If you look at it, I saw the video on X. As I said, I can't play it because there's a lot of expletives, because she's using a lot of expletives. The child is terrified. If it was my child, But here's the thing. It was recorded because everything is recorded now. Remember that everything you do is recorded. I've said it once on the show already, and I will say it again. Everything you do is recorded. Okay. The woman has been identified, and apparently her name is Jordan Bowen. It gets better than that. She is being paid by the Harris Foundation, whatever you want to call it. She's part of the Democratic Party. Okay, so now she's facing backlash because she decided to scream into a child's face. Scream. Expletives. I don't bleep what your bleeping dad is saying. You are a bleeping bleep. You don't say that to a child. You don't scream that kind of obscenities into a child's face. You don't. You don't do it. She's a Democratic organizer. That means that she is being paid by the Democratic Party to organize rallies, to be an organizer. So that is what the Democratic Party are doing now to kids. They're screaming at kids because they can't. Here is the crux of it. This is what it all comes down to. They cannot have decent, civilized conversations with anybody. They can't So now they're going to scream at people who can't talk back to them. Okay? If they were to scream at me, I would give them a piece of my mind. I would talk back to them. You know? And that's what it's coming to. The Democrats are getting so scared. They're getting so terrified that they're relying on, they're doing really stupid things. But again, and I asked this question last week, is why they're so scared. And a couple of people text in, it's because of what Donald Trump knows. Now, what was that island? What was that island? Help me out. Epstein Island. Am I right and wrong in saying that there was, on Epstein Island, there was a list of people that traveled to Epstein Island? And that list, some of it has been leaked. Some of the main characters that have been on Epstein Island has been leaked out to the press. But there's a lot more names who are going to be leaked out if the Donald becomes the president. And I believe that they are so terrified of what's going to happen. There's going to be, it's going to be a melee. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be so many people arrested because there is an awful lot of laundry that is going to come out. And I think that is one of the main reasons that when Donald becomes president, that the Democrats are so scared. And I think that's why they're pushing as hard as they can. And they're starting to do screaming into kids' faces. That poor little kid sitting there like doing nothing. You know, kids sometimes hear their parents arguing. You know, everybody has a little argument every now and again, and kids will hear it. And you try your best not to put your kids into that kind of thing. And if you do, you feel terrible about it. You know, if one of your kids hears you giving out or cussing, you feel terrible about it. But this person, she had a vicious look on her face. Let me go back here again. We'll just tip back in. What was her name? I have it here. Jordan Bowen. Remember, she is part of the Democratic Party and decided that the best thing to do was to scream into a little kid's face. She doesn't look like she's she's not dressed very dressed very conservatively, you know, but you know, I'm not gonna argue about that. She does whatever she wants to do. A lovely photograph of her there standing beside the American flag, you know, being all nice and proper, but then she decides to scream at people. But that is the thing. Just be very careful of everything that you do, absolutely everything that you do, because it's all recorded. On the Common Sense Reform text line, the child's father should get a divorce, sue for custody. No, it's not her. It's no. That's not the it's the child. It's not the child's mom. You know, it's not the child's mom. So that's the text that came in. Another text in from a very good friend of mine, and he says to me, "What would you do?" I would knock out all her teeth, and then her head. Yeah, you don't do that. And he would, and I know my buddy, and he would. Everybody stands up for their kids. When I come back, yeah, why is Big Mike not running for president? Mooses. Oh, I'm gone blurry. Why am I gone blurry? Full definition. I need more music. So I was talking about Democrats screaming at kids, and on the text line, I was trying to read this one earlier on, but it was coming close. So it said the child's father should get a divorce, sue for custody, and get child support from his mother. No, it wasn't. It wasn't the child's mom that was screaming like that. It was somebody else. It was another person screaming. It was a member of the Democratic Party who was screaming at the kids. Also got a text on the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line. Odi, do you follow House Inhabit on Instagram? I do now. I hope they follow me. Yeah. Now, here's a question for you. Why? Maybe you can answer this. I want to hear what you have to say about this one. Why is Big Mike not running for president? I would have thought that Big Mike would have been the logical, because Hillary tried, failed badly because she's just a liar. 100%. Failed dismally. Hillary did try. God love her, she tried. God loves a trier, but not her. Tried to run for president, she failed. Big Mike, Michelle Obama. Why is she? Yeah. Why is she not running for president? She probably would have gotten the votes because Cackles did not get the votes. Nobody voted for Cackles to become the the running mate or to take over from Sleepy Joe. When Sleepy Joe stepped down, when he had enough, nobody said Cackles should do it. The reason I say that is we've got lots of different media outlets and sources and all that fun stuff here. And, we've got sound bites. And I just happened to be looking through some sound bites. And I heard this. This was Michelle Obama, aka Big Mike, talking. I just listened to the way she talked for a second, okay?
If we want to help this country finally turn the page on the politics of hatred and division, we can't just sit around and complain. No, we've got to do something. Kamala is the only candidate in this race who has outlined a clear set of policies, including focusing on lowering costs and reducing drug prices for all Americans.
Okay, she hasn't, but look, we're going to say that she did, but she didn't. She didn't do anything like that at all. But just listen, I think that talking to people is what the American president needs to do. Okay? The American president needs to communicate with people 100%. The American president needs to be the voice of the population, needs to be the voice of the Americans, needs to be able to talk to the Americans, needs to be able to, if a crisis happens, when the aliens decide to touch down in Roswell like they did many, many years ago, the American president needs to be able to come onto the TV and needs to be able to tell us, it's okay, we got this. I'm sending in the Marines, I'm sending in the Air Force, the Navy are going to be there, the Army are going to be there, and they're going to kick butt. Okay? We're going to be safe. We're going to be fine. Now, if the aliens come and they want to be nice and friendly to us, that's fine. That's fine. We can put up with that. But did you listen to Michelle talking there? It's very straightforward and she's getting a point across. Granted, it's probably a load of lies. That's not for me to say. Not going to call someone out as a liar unless I actually have factual truths. It's called fact checking. A lot of people do it now. But why was she not the choice? Why was she not asked? Why did Barack not say, oh, well, Michelle, I think you could, if you don't mind, if you could be the president, you were the president when I was in charge, so maybe you could do it again. Why was she not? Is it because there's something we need to know? Is there a little something, that she could be hiding? I'm just saying, or is it the fact? Now, here is another little situation that we could have playing out, and it could be something, and I could slightly agree with it a wee bit. Maybe the Democrats don't want to win. I mean, they're doing everything that they can not to. It seems to me that they're just giving up. Maybe the Democrats are a little bit kind of like, well, we're not really doing anything. Sleepy Joe is asleep. Where is the president? Where is the president of the United States of America? Where is he? I want to know where our president is. What's he doing? Is he alive? Is he not? Is it a doppelganger that they have? Is there many doppelgangers? Like, a lot of people will say that he is the puppet and the puppeteers are pulling the strings. Big Mike and Barack are pulling the strings still. Is it a thing where, I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused as to the way things went. I mean, as I said, Kamala did not get any of the votes. She didn't get any of the votes. She should not be running for president. but she is. Everything that she's saying so far has been a lie, even to the smallest little thing. Smallest little thing. Listen, I have been known to exaggerate from time to time, especially on Saturday nights. You know, we have a bit of fun on Saturday nights, and I've been known to exaggerate. You know, bloating. If I'm standing up on stage, I do a lot of stand-up comedy. Well, I used to. I'm going to get back into it. I exaggerate. Some stories are fun. They're funny, and I just, make them a little bit more funny and exaggerate. But when I talk about my personal life, and I do, and I talk about the jobs I've worked in, I don't exaggerate. There's no need to. I've had a fun life. I've had a crazy life. I've done a lot of very, very strange things, and I've gone to a lot of very, very strange places. And I was only recalling one of them during the week. I'm not going to say it now because it's very embarrassing. And it just involved a very strange situation out in Australia. And I could feel myself turning red. And now I'm going to get loads of messages saying, Odie, please tell us the Australian story. No, not telling you. But yeah, but I don't embellish. Just remember, listen to me now. On the 5th of November, when you're going out to vote, remember the candidate that is running for the Democratic Party has been lying a lot about little things like working in McDonald's. And one of the big ones that really peed me off was that she said in front of the entire nation that there is no members of our armed forces who are in a heated theater, if you want to call it that none of them are under any attack, none of them are in any danger, that none of them are in conflict. Lies. Nothing but lies. So just remember that. I'm going to say this again. When you go to the ballots in 9 days' time, if you haven't early voted already, which I think a lot of people are early voting already, when you go to the ballots, open your wallet. Okay? Take a look at some of the receipts. Look at the receipts for your gas from about a month ago. Look at your receipts for your grocery shopping. Look at the price of bread. Look at the price of milk. Look at the price of eggs. Okay? And if you're the type of person that balances their checkbook and you probably still have all of the receipts and you've got all the checkbooks from back in the day, look at the price of your grocery shopping 4 years ago. And then make your mark on the ballot paper. I think it's going to be Republican. I really do. When I come back, because of the time of the year it is, it's coming up to, spooky season. I'm going to be telling you what I know, and I want to hear what you know about Halloween. Text line 71307. It's going to get a little bit spooky in here. You're listening to News Talk 98.9 WRD. It is the voice of the Carolinas. I don't know why I keep using the wrong button. I have two mouses. Two of them there. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the last segment of the show. 2 hours goes fast, doesn't it? It really does. Just during the ad breaks there, you would have heard Charlie talking about his tax, and I got a text message in from a texter to the Common Sense Retirement Planning text line 71307, and it says to me, hey, Odi, I got my tax bill today from Spartanburg County. I have to pay $2,333 for school taxes. Yes, I did it slowly because otherwise it would have been $2,333 for taxes. For failing schools that I don't even use, I have homeschooled all of my children. Well, I hate to say it to you. No, it's terrible. I hate that we pay so much tax. We do. But have you noticed that we have to pay tax on absolutely everything? Like, we really do. We have to pay tax on the tax. If you make money, you pay tax on it. When you withdraw your money, you probably pay tax on it. When you go and you put gas into your car, you pay tax on it. When you buy your car, you pay tax on it. When you have your car, you need to pay tax on the car. When you spend your money, you pay tax on it. When you earn your money, you pay tax on it. When you're retired, this is one that I don't get, right? When you're retired, the money that you put into a 401k or whatever retirement plan you have, you then have to pay tax on it, even though it's been taxed already. Yeah. Just going to say, there was a tea party up in Boston a couple of 100 years ago because of 1% tax. I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say much more about it. But what I am going to talk about, ever so lightly, just a little bit, is the fact that Halloween is starting. Oh yes, the Irish music is on. I'm very sorry. Voice is a little bit hoarse at the minute. Why is the Irish music on, do you say? Well, the reason is that Ireland invented Halloween. Yes. Text line, someone said, I know a lot of our Halloween customs originated with the Druids in Ireland. The original jack-o'-lanterns were carved turnips with candles inside them. Yes, they were. Yeah, it was a Celtic tradition. On All Hallows Eve, the people would carve turnips to help ward off evil spirits. You're saying, how did it end up over here in America? Well, the reason it ended up over here in America is because of the same reason that I'm here in America. Irish immigrants coming to America discovered pumpkins were much better substitute, a lot easier to carve, a lot easier. Have you tried carving a turnip lately? No, I haven't tried carving a turnip at all. Yeah, a lot easier to carve a pumpkin than it is to carve a turnip. Turnip, you can make nice soup out of it, and you can mash turnip, and it makes a good accessory to mashed potatoes. You know, put it there with it as well. But there's a lot of traditions that came from Ireland because we believed that the 31st of October was All Hallows Eve. The big day was the 1st of November. 1st November was the big day when all of the spirits and saints could walk the earth again. I suppose it's a nice way to see your, relatives. They come back and scare the living daylights out of you. But is there any customs that you do here? Is there any customs trick-or-treating? Any of them little customs? Bobbing for apples. Do you remember all them games we used to play when we were kids? Bobbing for apples in Ireland was a big thing because you'd have the apples in a basin of water and your brother or sister would hold your head under the water for quite a while. Did you get an apple yet? And you're coughing and spluttering, and maybe that was just my house. Sibling rivalry. Yeah, maybe. But we used to put coins at the bottom. Little 1 cent coins, little 2 cent coins, maybe 5 cent coins. Because at the time, a 5 cent coin, well, you probably would have got out. And I'm talking about 1980 here, 1982, 3, 4. 5 cent coin would have bought you a pint and probably a good meal. Yeah, money doesn't really get you anywhere anymore. But we used to try and ward off the evil spirits because you'd have good spirits would come back and you'd also have scary spirits would come back. People with a grudge. Someone could have died 4 years ago and you might owe them money. So they're coming back and they're going to scare you. They're going to scare people out of it. Is trick-or-treating a big thing? Are you going trick-or-treating with your kids? I hate to say it, but check your candy. Just give a little look in your kids' candy because there is some people, not around here, very nice people around here, some people out there and they do nasty things to kids' candy. So just give a little look, have a little check inside. Are you going trick-or-treating? Text me 71307. Let me know what's happening. How are you going to celebrate it? How are you going to celebrate Halloween? No, a lot of people don't celebrate Halloween. There's a lot of religious people around here in South Carolina, Georgia. We're in the Bible Belt. Some people don't like it. They don't celebrate it. Trick-or-treating was a way that people would appease the spirits. They would dress up as spirits. They would dress up as ghosts and ghouls and goblins. To, I suppose to blend in a little bit. If you arrive out and you're a ghost, you come back from being dead and you head over to your local subdivision, where you used to go around and want to scare people, and all of a sudden you see loads of little spirits running around. You're like, oh no, there's enough spirits here. I'm going to head on home. The hauntings have been happening here. I'm not going to do any more hauntings here. This is all going to be nice and cheerful. That's why people dress up as ghosts and spirits, and they go to houses and people would give them something as a kind of a token to, okay, you've come to my house. Here is some candy. Please leave my house and, don't eat my cat. Don't do anything that you shouldn't. I want to know your traditions. Let me know what you do, how you celebrate it. Do you bob for apples? Is there candy apples? I used to get candy apples all the time. I don't know. I honestly don't know how I still have teeth left in my head because I have a very sweet tooth. 43 years and I have not gotten any fillings. Don't ask me how, but it just, yeah. Hey, Odi, teenagers will be trick-or-treating and we have a scary house. Oh, you got a scary house. And I'll be giving away full-size candy bars to all the ghouls and goblins. If you want to text me your address. No, I'm joking. Giving away full-size candy bars. Like the sounds of that. They're going to have a scary house and they're going to have they're going to be scaring all the kids that come around, which I like to hear. Love to hear that. People getting into the spirit of it. We will be doing it. Our subdivision, a lot of older people living in the subdivision. We're kind of the youngest people living there at the minute. A lot of vets, an awful lot of vets living in it. Pretty much all around me. And we, as I said, we are pretty much the youngest family in the subdivision at the minute. So we'll be bringing the little boy. We'll be going trick-or-treating with him. We'll be going to little events and he'll be dressing up. He wants to dress up as Batman and a skeleton. He tried on his costume for me earlier this week. So if you follow me on Instagram, I think I put a photograph up, Odi_Fitzgerald. You can see him in all his glory, best dressed up as Batman and a skeleton all at the same time. Don't forget that the next Sunday night we have our special shows for the election lineup. Don't forget as well, on election night, you can join Tara and Bill. I think Mike and Charlie will be there. I might be there. Haven't been told if I'm going or not. Might be there. Might try and get down there, meet and greet, and we can see how the election is going for us. And Mike will be back. Or sorry, Tara will be back first thing in the morning. You got Mike, Bill Frady, and then Charlie will be wrapping things up. Hopefully, it's a very safe week. Just be careful with the trick or treat stuff coming in. Just be, just watch out for the candy. Make sure it's okay. If you're gonna have fireworks, I don't know if fireworks are a big thing over here for Halloween. They're a big thing in Ireland for Halloween, but they're illegal in Ireland, and I think that just makes people want them. If you're playing with fireworks, not that you're playing with them, if you're letting off fireworks to celebrate Halloween, please be very careful. Lax text came in. We celebrate Reformation Day. Not sure what that one is. I must look into that. But yeah, there's be safe, be careful, have a really fun Halloween. Get out and vote. Go on to scvotes.gov. You can find out how to do it. I'll be back next Sunday night. I'll be here on Saturday night as well. And until then, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic week. And I will talk to you then. Slán Awalia. Bye. Harold, what are you doing, buddy? Celebrate by watching horror movies and demolishing a bag of candy. What movies are you going to watch? I'll stay online for a minute. You can get a chance to come back to me. I don't know what we're doing. It'll be a busy night. I would be watching some movie. I might actually watch a movie tonight when I get home. Because when I get home from this, I'm hyper. I have to get up at 6 a.m, but I'm giddy and I'm hyper. I'm just like, actually get up at 5:30. Not tomorrow. I get up a little bit later tomorrow because I'm going to be checking out that my aunt's funeral online. But yeah, no. I might watch a movie tonight just to unwind a little bit. Anyway, right. Thanks everybody. I'll be back next week. Y'all are amazing.